Kindness is a very interesting concept. Usually, when we think of being kind, we think of being overgenerous. And generally speaking, overgenerosity is problematic. And the reason is that when we're overgenerous with our time, with our energy, with our attention, with our love, with our money, anything that's worthwhile, what it does is it tends to trigger in the other a sense of, I wouldn't be doing that if the shoe were on the other foot. Why is this person being so generous to me, more than generous? And also an alertness that perhaps I'm becoming beholden or indebted to this person. And so then what happens is people start to feel discomfort when we're overgenerous. We think we're just being kind. Let's relieve our guilt about being in a better, less suffering consciousness state by lavishing this person with energy, with time, with love, with attention, with money. And then what happens is we become bewildered when later on the person actually feels discomfort and they begin, strangely as we think of it, to sabotage their relationship with us. Why are they doing that? Why are they behaving badly? It's as if, no good deed goes unpunished. And we begin to feel that, people are very strange. All I was kind. In fact, what you probably were was overgenerous. And so then overgenerosity is a problem that's created by the one who is too kind, too generous, too giving. And although giving and generosity are, of course, fundamentals of having a society where giving is the principle, but one thing we need to really attend to, and that is, it is incumbent on us to identify accurately the conscious receptivity of the one to whom we're being kind. What is their level of conscious receptivity? If they have like a thimble full of conscious receptivity, but you give a swimming pool full of whatever it is you're giving, then you've overdone it. And if you overdo it, you'll trigger in the recipient a tendency to punish you for being as kind as you're being. And so then once we've identified how to be, appropriately kind, what we're really doing is we're identifying conscious receptivity first. This is the most important thing. How much can this person handle? How much kindness can they handle without my triggering in them, feelings of them being beholden to me or worrying about what my agenda is or whatever. And then the next step is to be sure that we are appropriately disciplined in the way that we deal with people. I mean, this is the part that in your question you ask about assertion or being assertive versus being kind. In fact, the two are the one and the same thing. Taking a disciplined approach in our own giving pattern. One of the things that could be very helpful here is to remember that this is not a one-shot thing. If you assess somebody's level of conscious receptivity, and if your assessment is on a little bit on the low side, there's always tomorrow. You can give a little bit more tomorrow. One of the things that we tend to overdo is like giving people a core dump of knowledge. Somebody says, I wish I knew this or I wish I knew that. And then we feel it's incumbent on us to tell them absolutely everything we've ever learned about this or that. And that's not really what they were inquiring for. So we also have to be aware of the principle of worthy inquiry. Worthy inquiry means the degree to which somebody has actually requested or sought our wise and trusted counsel, our attention, our energy, or whatever it is that they're seeking. If we attempt to advise somebody without them having actually demonstrated that they're seeking it, then we are annoying them. And they might be polite and listen, but in fact, all we're doing is being a loving controller. In our desire to be loving, we're in fact being a controller and trying to get them to think the way we think they should think. People need to have an opportunity to express worthily their own level of inquiry, and this is one of the ways that we can identify just exactly what their conscious receptivity is and then speak to that or act according to that. So a very important principle has been raised in this question about kindness versus assertion. The fact is, they're the same thing. We have a disciplined approach to meeting the need of the time as expressed by the recipient and as expressed in the degree of their worthy inquiry. And we're always willing to be generous within that disciplined format.